Today I fucked up by inhaling my tongue ring, ending up pregnant and almost dead. This today I fucked up is still occurring, but it started last week, and that day started normal like always. I went to work, and when I went to lunch it turned to the worst week of my life. I was sent on lunch, and while I was eating my tongue ring somehow came off, and instead of what I initially thought was me swallowing it, the X-rays at the hospital showed it was inhaled and went into my lung. Since they had to do an X-ray and a CAT scan, I was asked if I was pregnant. I told them absolutely not. Since I have the paraguard IUD implanted birth control. They did blood work and then came to speak to me and told me that I was in fact pregnant. I was absolutely shocked and scared. I called my husband and my mom and told them the news. My husband rushed to the hospital, and when he got here he asked if I told them about the IUD, which I had not yet. When he told them, they said after they performed the bronchoscopy, they would have to immediately remove the IUD. The procedure was really simple, and they removed the tongue ring in 30 minutes and I was fine for the most part other than a sore throat. They came and spoke to me about the pregnancy and the problems the IUD can present to it. They immediately removed the IUD and told me that it was bent and slipped down, which is the reason it didn't work properly after me having it for more than a year. They also scheduled an ultrasound. When they went in for the ultrasound they couldn't find the pregnancy, which raised some concerns. Ultimately, after 2 days of waiting in the ICU, they confirmed it was an ectopic pregnancy. They said the pregnancy was very early, so they sent me home with a shot to kill the pregnancy, and I was to follow up every 2 days at a clinic to make sure the pregnancy was being successfully terminated. Everything was alright, and even though I had cramps and all other sorts of side effects, as long as they weren't too severe I would be fine. I was feeling completely better Saturday morning, but after a shower I suddenly felt a sharp pain on my shoulder and then severe abdominal pain that left me incapacitated. I've never felt such severe pain. After speaking to the clinic through the phone they told me to immediately head to the ER. When I arrived they performed an ultrasound which almost made me pass out from the pain, and they confirmed my pregnancy burst inside my ovary, and I was bleeding internally. So I'm now back home, but after the worst weekend of my life I'm left out of work for at least 6 weeks and struggling to get out of bed. They said if I had not come in I would be dead. Luckily the doctors were able to save my ovary. Too long, didn't read, inhaled my tongue ring, got diagnosed with an ectopic pregnancy. The pregnancy burst in my ovary and almost killed me. Usually stories on here wind up and then wind back down, but your story left me more distressed after every sentence. Glad you're alive, op. Please feel better. I would say that inhaling your tongue ring saved your life. Definitely bought some time, but my ovaries would have burst regardless. Oh no. She swallowed her tongue ring. Oh shit, she actually inhaled it, and it's in her lungs. Oh fuck, unexpected pregnancy. Google's ectopic pregnancy. Holy fuck, that's really scary. Never heard of that one, but glad they caught it early. Severe abdominal pain is never good. Oh my fucking lanta, her ovaries actually ruptured and she was minutes away from bleeding out. Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. I'm really glad you're okay, op. That was a hell of a ride and sounds terrifying. I hope you have a speedy recovery. Bloody hell. That read like the synopsis of an episode of House. Glad you're okay. Today I fucked up by making myself an uncle NSFW. So this started 2 weeks ago. I went to my mom's house for holidays, just left today, so my younger brother 17 still lives with my mom. Doing the basic family reunion stuff, catching up, bugging my brother about women, when to my surprise he announces he had a GF. Naturally I start being an asshole and bugging him about the fact that she doesn't exist, very cliche stuff. I get to teasing him about him not losing his V card. My mom is not liking the conversation. His GF ends up coming over. I stopped the teasing, I'm not a monster. So I'm talking to his GF, getting to see why she is with my brother. She's a half decent girl, says she's throwing a party, but my mom is being a stickler and not letting my brother go. I tell her not to worry about it, I'll talk her into letting my brother go out. I get to talking to my mother about how she should let him go. She is being very defensive. My argument was the fact that she sheltered him a little too much. We were raised yin and yang. I grew up partying, doing drugs, teenage gang stuff. He grew up in his bedroom talking to his friends. Nothing wrong with it but little to no face to face. Saying how a party would be good for him, I even offered to go. I'm only 23, she was worried about if he had sex and whatnot. I told her he's old enough. She brought up that she had me when she was 17, and didn't want him to make that mistake. I know how that sounds. So I finally convinced her. She agreed. So I decide that I need to give my lil bro the wrap your willy speech. He's super awkward about it. I knew my bro was losing it that night. Fast forward to the party, I drop him off so my mom thinks I'ma be there. I pick him up, he is grinning ear to ear. Bring him home and my mom is not happy with me. Apparently her friend saw me at a bar. Interrogation begins, he's hungover not wanting to answer. Skip to yesterday, his GF tells him she's pregnant and going to keep it. Well, holy fuck, did I get reamed out. Apparently she convinced him to go in raw and make her a toaster strudel. Well, as you would all expect, a virgin's pull-out game is not strong, but he has some strong swimmers. So now my mom is pissed and blaming me. My brother is becoming a father, and I'm becoming an uncle. Too long didn't read, convinced my mom to let my brother go to a party and lose his V card. He got his GF pregnant. Update 1, so she is swearing up and down she has not slept with anyone else. She agreed to a paternity test. So we gotta wait a bit for her to get it. I'm on the same thought train of all of you, thinking they were getting frisky for a while. They have been together for 2 months. My brother is getting tested for STIs. I was all over him about that. Also, thanks for the gold and silver. I have no idea what that does. Thank you all for the input and advice, and compliments of my writing. Update 2, everyone is asking for an update. Can't really give one, we have to wait for her to be farther along for a paternity test. My brother does not have any STIs or STDs. My mother is still being unreasonable and blaming me for this. I'm helping him look for work if it does turn out to be his. There are quite a few of you wondering what the teenage gang stuff was. You can DM and I can explain what I did if curious, how I got out, how my life has changed and all. Update 3, in Maury Povich voice, the test results have come back and you are the father. Mother is crying, brother is in shock, and the GF's family is trying to convince her to get an abortion. Everyone pray for this child. Update 4, they are keeping the kid. Mom still doesn't talk to me. I helped my brother get a job, and helping him graduate high school. I've started a savings account for him, and my GF and I are going to move into a place with him, and his GF to help them out. Your brother needs to be tested for STIs, as well, not just paternity. I second this. The brother needs to experience that waiting for the results if he didn't think having a baby was a big enough risk to wrap it up. Whoa, okay. I thought you fucked her sister or something. Get your brother to take a paternity test, there is something fishy afoot. I agree, paternity test plus an update is required. Probably not his. 2 weeks is pretty early to even suspect pregnancy. Your bro should probably get a paternity test. Edit, JFC people, I said early, not impossible. What if she knew she was already pregnant, so she said that he could do it raw to make it seem like it was his? Thonking. Today I fucked up by telling someone he had something on his trailer dragging. Happened this morning, about 5 hours ago. I was on my way to work, following a guy towing a trailer behind him. I noticed some sparks coming from somewhere underneath the trailer. Normally, I wouldn't think twice about it, but I was having an especially good morning and wanted to help. Plus he was hauling a decent sized excavator and didn't want something to happen to it, because it looked pretty new. We pull up to a stoplight, and I hop out of my truck to run up to him and let him know. Apparently he didn't see me, because when I said excuse me, his window was open. He turned and punched me in the jaw. Being one who didn't want to escalate the situation, I let him know about the trailer and proceeded to apologize for scaring him. As I turned around to go back to my truck, the light turned green. The way this intersection is, there is the lights we were waiting at and another light 50 back down the road to tell incoming traffic what the light is, as it's somewhat of a blind curve. As I'm walking back to my truck, a woman comes around the corner and slams into the back of my truck, pushing it forwards into me. It didn't move very fast, but hit me hard enough to knock me over and crack a few ribs. She then gets out and yells at me for being stopped at the intersection as I'm laying on the ground in quite a bit of pain. The way she viewed it, I was an 18-year-old kid who got out of my truck to do something stupid. The cops got there and she got cuffed after trying to assault one of the officers. Too long didn't read, I stopped to tell someone about a chain dragging under their trailer, got punched in the jaw and hit my own car. Edit, to all the people saying trucks often drag chains, this wasn't a semi or tanker truck. It was just a couple dudes hauling their excavator to a dig site in a Ford F350. The way your morning went, I'm shocked the police didn't arrest you for laying in the road. Did the guy who punched you apologize afterwards? Cops should have arrested him for assault as well. This reminds me of one time I was driving down to Phoenix and was at a stoplight. I looked over and the Jeep next to me had some expensive skiing gear somehow still on top of the tire that sits on the back. I jump out all good citizen like to grab the stuff and run up to his window. I pick it up, run up to his window, and knock on the door with a big smile all nice and stuff. He flips me off and floors it. Well, sucks to be a dick guy because now I have your $300 Dragon polarized goggles and $100 snowboarding gloves. Show me on this map of Florida where this happened to you. No good deed goes unpunished. No good deed goes unpunched.